Hi there, I'm back. I'm Jennifer. I'm known as Jedidragoon on Facebook and Ravelry. Not on Facebook. On Ravelry and Instagram. Yeah. Haven't done this in a month and trying to remember how to do it. Anyway, you can find me both at both those places. Plus, I have a Ravelry group called A.D.D and A.D.H.D knitter, and I have a Ravelry group up on Ravelry. I'll try to put it in the description below so you can find it easily. Yeah, it's just been a busy month or so. I tried to do this last week, record a whole episode, didn't record the sound at all. So I'm back to doing it on my iPad, and then I tried to do it again, and I just wasn't in the mood. It was on my 40th birthday, which was last Wednesday, which was January 22nd. And I just wasn't in a good mood. I haven't been feeling well for a few months, and I didn't feel great, so I didn't podcast. And turns out the reason I wasn't feeling good was I wasn't eating right or anything like that, because for my 40th birthday for myself, I decided I'd join Weight Watchers. So I've been on that about a week. I got my energy back. I'm feeling great. Yeah, so it's been going good. I've lost also 10 pounds since then. So, all good, and I'm eating healthier and better and less, and that seems to be helping out a lot. I already walk a lot at work. I get in a bunch of steps at work because I'm a cashier, so I'm on my feet walking all the time. Weekends I get a bit more because I volunteer at Put Away Returns, so I get a lot of walking done then too. But yeah, that's going great. I'll keep you updated on my progress on that. So that's what I'm doing. And I should also mention yeah, that thought didn't go anywhere. That's the problem with ADD and ADHD is you start to have a thought and sometimes it's gone. Poof. So instead of listening to me ramble, let's get into some works in progress and WIPs and all that and yarn, because that's why you guys are here, is to see yarn and all that. And I'm more than happy to oblige, and hopefully my yarn buying's probably I'm going to try to cut back on it because I seem to have a lot of yarn coming in and I'm not getting a lot done, so I want to get some stuff done, so I'm going to try to cut back. I have a yarn subscription for the year, so I'll keep getting that. I'm going to try to do this once a month, because every week or every 2 weeks, that's not feasible for me. It takes a lot of motivation and that to, dragon shirt. Takes a lot of motivation that to get me to do these videos. So they're not the easiest thing for me to do. So I'm going to try to do once a month. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, this is one of my dragon shirts I got from Walmart. I love it. I'm one of those weird women that likes dragons. I used to like unicorns, but everybody liked unicorns, and I just like what I like, so I still like unicorns, but I also like weird stuff. Anyway, hey, you tuned in for this, so this is what you get. Alright, so let's get into finished objects. I have one finished object. Yes, I only have one. I had a little bit of cast-on-itis, so I have a bunch of WIPs and something, and I'm also going to do a finisher frogget section. So, but I got one WIP done. It was the hat you saw me working on last time. This is the Barley Light hat. I made it for my husband. It's made out of is made out of Red Heart Super Saver. I keep wanting to say plus, but there's no plus. It's just Red Heart Super Saver. And it's in the color Americana. It's supposed to stripe up like red, white stripes with stars, but since you're knitted in the round, it doesn't really do that, but it still looks really cool and good. He likes it. My 8-year-old kept stealing it for a little while. Here, I'll go ahead and put it on. It's a little bit big for me, so it's kind of a slouchy hat. And yeah, this is how it fits. It looks, this is definitely not my colors. This is my husband's colors, but definitely not really mine. Yeah, I used the Barley Hat pattern, and I used size 6 and size 4 needles for it. And this is just worsted weight yarn. I love this because you can fold it up real nice and tightly and shove it in your pocket, which happens a lot at work because I had one hat I couldn't do that to, and it kept falling out on the floor. I'd find it on the floor at work after I hung up my coat. Is a pain in the butt. This I love because I can just go almost like, you can almost just crunch it up in your hand. So it's a real good pattern. I like this one. I'll leave a link for it in the description. The yarn you can get at any Walmart. That's where I got it because I work there and I get a discount. That is why I get most of my acrylic yarn at Walmart. Mainly because I use the excuse to walk down the yarn aisle almost every day. And then I wonder why I go down there because I don't actually buy that much yarn anymore. Anyway, so let's get into, because they're on top, I will now get into the yarn that I've bought and purchased, and I also have another order on the way because a friend of mine, I ordered some yarn. She wasn't feeling well, and she asked if I could, and I was doing a knit along, so she asked if she could substitute a yarn for the knit along. I said, sure, yeah, just send me this color. And she's like, okay. I got 2 of those. I'm like, okay. So I didn't worry about it. She decided to go ahead and send me the other colorway too. So it's on its way. It's not here yet. You'll probably see it next video. So I got, let me get it over here. This is not how you're supposed to do this, but this is how I'm doing it. So first things first. First thing I bought was 2 of these. These are Lion Brand Mandala yarn in the colorway Troll. And they're a DK weight. They're DK size 3. I love this stuff, and I went through and cleaned up my stash the other day, and I realized how many cakes of Mandala yarn I have. I may be trying to do a Cozy Memories blanket out of Mandala yarn, just so I can use up some of it out of my stash, because I got a lot, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, and I would really like to use it. So I'm thinking about making a blanket out of it. But this will probably be a shawl. I got 2 of them, so we'll see about making those into a shawl. They're supposed to be the Paris Toujours shawl, but I saw the colorway on my friend's website, Arrowhead Fibers, and I saw one of their colorways that I really wanted to knit with and make a Paris Toujours, which that's the one that she didn't send me. So instead I got something else. So that's what that was supposed to be for, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Actually, I did want to do Stephen West's Dotted Rays shawl. My friend Erin over on Fiber Hustle says it's a really good pattern. As long as it's nice, basic, simple, and easy, I will give it a try. But, so, that came. And then, after that came, I got my, I guess I should have said, if you don't want to be spoiled, you should move ahead in the video if you haven't gotten your Dumbledore yarn yet, but sorry. So I got my Dumbledore, the Quotable Dumbledore Club. And this is this month's color. I really love this color. Actually, I loved last month's color too, but this is really pretty. And the quote on it is, "It's lucky it's dark. I haven't blushed so much since Madame Pomfrey told me she liked my new earmuffs." So, that is Dumbledore quote. And I'm just loving this because it's almost all, both skeins have been purple, and I love purple. And I love this color. This is going to turn into a shawl on its own. I have a pattern already in mind for it. It's another Stephen West one. It's Pagona. I might give that a try with that. But I have a lot of other things I'm trying to get done first, because I'm going to try to get all my projects done that I have cast on. That might be impossible, but I'm going to try. So that came in. Oh, and this one is on her low original base. And if you give me a sec here, because apparently my phone closed down, I have show notes. It is on her low original base. Her low original base is 85% extra fine merino and 15% nylon. And it's very soft and squishy. Yeah, this is one of those I'll have to knit it and then make sure it never goes through the washing machine. Which means I actually have to make sure it doesn't end up on the floor by mistake. But yeah, that's what this is. And then I was looking on, okay, so about not last summer, but the summer before, I went to Nashville and visited my sister, and while I was there, I went to a yarn shop called House of Yarn. It's spelled H-A-U-S of yarn. And while I was there, I found 2 skeins of yarn I absolutely fell in love with. One was Prankster by Old Rusted Chair, and the other was Fairy Garden by Knitted. Well, I've been kind of looking on Old Rusted Chair, trying to decide to buy something. So I was on there the other day. She had a sale going on, and I liked one of the colors that was on sale. And so I ended up buying, I decided, well, one of the projects I'm going to show you, I decided I'm going to make and give to my mom. She doesn't watch this. We have no problems with her finding out about that. Hopefully I get it done and I can give it to her for Mother's Day. But anyway, because she loves shawls, apparently. She is tickled pink when I give her one. So I decided I'd get a colorway for myself for a shawl for me. And this is what I decided to go with. This is Spectrum. And as you can see, she still has some of these left in her shop. Just a word of advice, because I did this. There's a scroll down to choose your price after you click to get into the page for this yarn, where you choose the price, because I originally hit the wrong one, and then I had to scroll down and cancel my previous order and go back. She was really nice about it, but I had to go fix the whole thing. So there's a scroll down bar to get to the right price. But this is her Spectrum color, and this is an MCN base, so it's really soft and squishy. MCM is Merino Cashmere Nylon blend, and this one is 80% superwash Merino, 10% Cashmere, and 10% nylon. It has some like nice, really dark pink specks, some dark blue specks, almost black, orange, and yeah, there's all sorts of colors in here. This is going to be really pretty when I knit it up. And I can't wait to make this, and this is going to be a Paris Toujours shawl for me. I'm really loving the pattern. It's easy. It uses bigger needles, so it's working out really good for me. Yeah, I think there's enough yarn here for it. Maybe. Can't remember how many yards it calls for. I'll make it work. Yeah, that's all the yarn I've got. Let's push that out of the way. And then I can get into works in progress / yarn I've got. Because I got some more yarn that you haven't seen because it came in for a knit along. And I've been working with it. So it's currently living in my butterfly MB bag I love. Which, yeah, it's by Fate's Thread. Just Google her. I won't have it in the comments because I didn't think about that. So, and this cake for some reason is sloppy. I have no idea what happened. I do not wind yarn well. So, okay, so I already said I don't wind yarn well. Yeah, I really don't wind yarn well. Okay, all right. So this color is by Arrowhead Fibers. I'll have a link in the description. This is her Glowstick colorway. She originally made this color for Columbus Vogue Knitting Live, which I did not go to. I didn't want to go to it, really, actually. And it's these blues, pinks, and neon greens on a gray base, and it is really pretty. It's knitting up really good. And I got 2 of these for the Fiber Hustle Knit Along on Instagram that's going on. And it is the Fiber Hustle in Paris knit along, and they're knitting the Paris Toujours shawl by Isabella Kramer, and I'm loving the pattern. And this is how far I've gotten. I've gotten through almost 2 repeats. There's so, and it has this nice little garter stitch section, then this lace eyelet section, which actually seems to rib, and I'm just loving how this is working. I'm loving this color. It's knitting up really pretty. I really want to keep this for myself, but I haven't given my mom like a really nice a shawl knit out of really nice yarn, and so I've been feeling a little guilty about that. So I think this one's going to go to her. It's superwash, so if she does toss it in the washing machine, because that's why I usually give her acrylic, because my mom is not a patient woman and she doesn't do hand washed items well. So if this ends up in the wash, it's fine. It's superwash. It'll be fine. If she wants, I might tell her if she wants to, she can toss it in the washing machine and then just lay it flat to dry somewhere. So, or dry it in the dryer. I know there are people out there right now cringing because I said that, but I have done it. It's fine. Some of my socks that I knit that are too big, it's nice that they go through the washing machine every now and then and shrink on me, because then they fit better. So I'm sorry, but some of my stuff goes through the washer and dryer. Okay, I had a hat go through the dryer that wasn't supposed to, and it ended badly. I miss that hat. It was warm. And, well, it's on the floor, or somehow ended up on the floor, ended up in the wash, ended up in the dryer, and it was not superwash or anything like that. And the next thing I've been working on is I got this from, I'm not sure where this is from. I think it's Hobie Yarn, and I got it on like Black Friday one year, and it's like this maroon, like a really dark black or dark blue, brown, and that, and I'm knitting up a Barley Light hat. And it started off, the thing that annoyed me was it started off on size 2 needles, and I gotta do ribbing for 1.5 inches. And I'm saying 1.5 inches because the pattern does not call for that. I use the Barley Light hat pattern and knit it for 1.5 inches. But my last couple of Barley Light hats I've made have been a little bit too short on me, so I'm doing the Barley Light hat pattern, but I'm using the direction from the Barley hat because it's longer. So I'm using the measurements from the Barley hat for this, and when I get to decreases, I'll use the Barley Light hat pattern for the decreases. In my mind, I know what I'm doing. When I say it out loud, it sounds really strange, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I did the ribbing for 1.5 inches. This is a little Doctor Who stitch marker. Actually, I've hardly ever watched Doctor Who. I got the stitch marker in a stitch marker exchange for the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, and I really like it. I like the blue TARDIS. I don't know what it's called, but I like it. I've seen like a few episodes, but it's not really my thing, but I like this. So anyway, I'll be working on this on and off because I'm trying to get my shawl done too. So that's what that is. That's how far I've gotten on it. I've just finally switched to this larger needles. I like to take this with me to Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts because it's a nice mindless project that I can lay down, move off, come back to, pick back up. Or if I'm flying someplace, because I've started playing video games again, and if I'm flying someplace in the game, which takes forever, or remember, it probably doesn't take forever, but I have a short attention span. So I can pick this up while I'm flying someplace, knit on it a little bit till I land, and then put it back down. So that's what that's hat I cast on. And then I showed you the yarn I got for Christmas, so I finally decided on a pattern I was going to work on. Oh yeah, it's on a size J crochet hook, and it's in, this is the colorway I'm using. This is what I got for Christmas from my kids and my husband. It's called Super Savior Stripes, and it's in the Polo Stripes colorway. It's a worsted weight yarn, and it goes from like a teal to a blue to a purple to a purplish pink. There's a word for it. I'm not thinking of it. Magenta. That's the word. So it goes through all these colors, which I love these colors. The bad part, I got to looking at, I got 2 skeins for Christmas. I knew I had another skein or 2, so I went and found those. I had 2 more skeins. So I had 2 skeins, and then I was cleaning up my yarn stash and I found another skein. So I have like 5 skeins. And I am doing the virus shawl. And I didn't start with the actual, here, let's hold this up so you can see. I think it's blowing the color out. No, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's a little darker in real life, but. So what I did with it was, I was originally going to do the virus shawl meets granny stripe shawl pattern, I think is what it's called. But I got to doing the virus pattern and I really liked it, so I just kept doing the virus pattern and just left out the part about the granny stripes. So I just, instead of going to granny stripes, I just kept doing the virus and kind of looked up the virus shawl pattern just to make sure I was doing it right. And because the virus shawl pattern is all charts and I don't read crochet shawl charts very well, so or not at all, because I don't work off of a chart well. I might try to figure it out in the future, but right now, no. I know enough to be dangerous. So I went with that. I went with the, so I looked off that, plus the stuff I already had and was able to follow it. So I've just been going along at that and working on it. So this is probably going to be like a huge shawl with all these skeins of yarn, but I think it's going to look pretty good. It's a little brighter than I like, but it'll be noticeable. And it's purple and blue. I like it. It'll look good. And my kids will be happy that I'm wearing something they bought me. Okay, there's that. 2 more projects. And 1 project / leading into the finish it or frog it. What's in here? Oh, okay. And that's that. And okay, I showed the parachute one. Okay, I had to figure out what was in here. This is my mess. Okay, so I decided I was going to, I know I've ranted and raved about how I hate Afghans on this channel, and they're still not really my favorite, but I had a bunch of mini skeins and little partial skeins, and I had to do something with them. Looks like I just started casting them. Let's just, I can recast this on later. Just for showing you guys. What the heck did I do? Yeah, professional YouTuber. Sure. That's me. Okay, you go there. Okay, you guys go back in there. Okay, so I started working on I started really working on this about the time I started working on the Paris Toujours shawl, because one day I decided I was just going to work on this because it sounded fun and it's what I wanted to do. But I started a Cozy Memories blanket. This is No Makers. It's like a OOAK colorway, one of a kind colorways, that I knit a pair of socks in, and it's okay color, so I used it in this. Then I went to this, which is a mini skein I got in the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, and this is just some gray yarn I had hanging about that I decided to use, which I have learned not to use solid colors. They're just so boring. Like this is interesting enough that it doesn't bother me, or if I use a interesting pattern, I can work with it. This is just boring. I hated the solid colors. This I enjoyed. This is Knit Picks Felici. Color, I'm not sure. I just know I made my mom a pair of socks in it before I figured out she does not like hand knit socks. So it goes from purple, pink, yellow, pink, purple. So those are 3 squares I got. I'm going to get more done. I'm hoping to make this large enough to cover a king size bed. Don't know if that'll happen. This is all I've gotten done, but you know, here's hoping. Oh, and this one's sparkly. I don't know if you can see that. Whereas the gray is not, but this part is sparkly. So I've been working on that. Yeah, I have a whole bunch in here that I'm going to be working with and all that, and I need to shove that down in there. And I'm using like size 3 needles for that. And I have 2 more things in here. One I haven't got that far on. It's just the second sock to my Orca socks. It's a Desert Vista Dye Works colorway called Orcas. But yeah, I'm working on it. I'm making progress. I have a few more repeats before I get anywhere farther, but I'll work on this some more. I'll get this done eventually. It shouldn't take me that long. It's just boring. I don't know why it's boring me so much. Usually it doesn't. Usually I can get those done, but I'm just bored with it. And then that leads into a project I'm working on / finish it or frog it. So when I first started knitting again and knitting socks, I decided I'd make my husband a pair of socks. I got 1 sock done. The problem is I hate this. I ran out of yarn for the toe. I don't like this yarn here or this yarn here. They're both fingering weights, but this is a lot thicker, and I just don't like it. And then I was also using the OMG Spacious Sock heel, and it's just too big. We don't have really big heels, so I don't really care for this either. And my husband said it was fine, just finish it, just get it done. But I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. So this will be frogged, and I have already gone ahead and found another skein of orange yarn I had in my stash. I had it for some Star Wars socks, which may or may not get made, but right now I was like, if I need another skein of the orange yarn, I'll just order it. And so I got the toe started, and as you can see, they're a little bit different colors, but you know what? That's okay. This is more his color than this. So I got it started, and then I'm going to start using this to make the foot. And I also did these, like, I think, yeah, top down. And I think it's better if I start toe up. I just like how it looks better. So, and this is Leading Men Fiber Arts. I can never remember this for some reason. I can remember one name, but not the other. Yeah, this is Leading Men Fiber Arts, Steve and Andy on their Showstopper base, which is just the standard sock yarn sock. I think it's like 75% superwash merino and 20% nylon. But yeah, this, I got, pretty much I was going for orange and camo with this. So this will be his socks. It'll probably be a toss-up between working on these during Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and working on the hat. Because this, I just need to start putting this color in now and working up. And as you can see, my husband does not like very long socks. He likes shorties. So, he gets ankle socks. So this is going to be frogged. I'll probably just undo this part and then start knitting from this when I need to. If I need to, because I still have this. This is how much yarn I have. This is from the first sock, so I probably have enough for at least 2 or 3 socks. And yeah, so that's one I was going through and I decided I'd frog. And I'm trying to make you guys feel better about frogging projects because it's okay. If you frog it, that's fine. I restart stuff all the time. Oh, and also one thing I got for my birthday was my husband made me a bag. He made me this Nightmare Before Christmas bag with Jack Skeleton and Sally. He put a zipper on it for me and lined it, and I think he did a pretty good job. He put a handle, so this will be nice for taking stuff and that. So yeah, this should work pretty good for me. It's big enough for a sweater, so that might be a possibility for it. Though with the weight loss, I might wait till after I get done losing weight to make another sweater. That might be the smart thing to do. That'll also give me a goal. If I get enough weight loss, I can knit a sweater. But anyway, I have some more froggets. One I cast on at Christmas. Christmas Eve, I did the Christmas Eve cast on, and I was enjoying myself and all that. And I've gotten this far on the flat iron shawl and decided I'm going to pull it out and cast on a Free Your Fade shawl, because it's not a bad pattern. It's a pretty good size hook, but it's fingering weight yarn and it's single crochet. And as much as I like it, it's a simple pattern. It's an easy pattern. I'm just really bored with the single crochet, and I think I'd be happier knitting it. So that's going to be pulled out and turned into a Free Your Fade shawl. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then I have a few other things. We'll just take what's on top. It's going to be a mess. So I was going to do a shawl by the Periscoping Sisters called A Mother's Gift. As you can see, I already pulled the needles out. And I got pretty far on it, but I just wasn't enjoying the pattern. It wasn't what I wanted to do. So I ripped it out. I'm going to rip this out or knit from it. And I have 2 skeins of these Lolodidit. I believe this is Bourbon and Wild Horses. The Wild Horses I'm sure of. This, not as much. But yeah, I'm going to pull these out, try to find a 2-color shawl or something to make these into. So that's getting ripped out. I love the colors. Yeah. And then I want to do this thing where I actually use the yarn from a yarn haul and do a review video. I don't do review videos apparently. So I got this Hobie, I think it's either Twister or Twirls, because I got one of each. So I got this and started working on a Barley, no, not Barley, grain shawl. And I got this far and decided I was really bored. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. It's good. I don't like the color that much. I like the outer colors, but I don't like the inner color as much. So I might start doing the outer colors on something else and then just knit from this, because this here I like. This is too light a pink. So yeah, I just getting bored and I did not enjoy this, so it's going to get ripped out. And then down here, I decided I was going to make my daughter a new sweater. That's all well and good. Except my daughter doesn't really care for sweaters. So none of my kids like sweaters. They don't like wearing them. They get too hot. So yeah, that was a bust. So no sweater out of this yarn. I'm going to rip it out. Is my favorite crocheted pullover. Yeah, it's not a favorite apparently. So the kids pretty much told me no more sweaters. So they want hats. I can do hats. Hats are easy. Sweaters, not so much, apparently. So that's getting frogged. And this was originally going to be for my mom. But the thing is, I don't really care for this pattern that much. It's easy. It's simple. It looks great. Actually, now that I think about this one's a lot more flexible than the one I made. Okay, so this might not be a frog after all. Because this one's nice and flexible and this is the Cakes 2 to Tango shawl. Yeah, I hadn't planned on talking about the pattern, but and you take 2 cakes of lion brand mandala and crochet them. You start with one color and then you go to another color. So I might actually finish this. This may become a church project after I finish my virus shawl, because mom has like 2 shawls already. So this might become one for mom. Yeah, I think I'll finish this one because this one's a lot more looser and flappier, I guess you could say, than the one I was working on for myself. Because my one I have is pretty much a blanket that sits in the car. Which, now that I think about it, I could actually go and crochet another side and make it into a blanket. But so this actually might get finished. That's depressing. I have more stuff. And then this. This is a one cake shawl scarf thing. Yeah, I think I'm just going to... I know what color this is now. Okay, so, funny thing. I now have 3 skeins. But yeah, I'm going to rip this out and start over maybe or something, because this is nice, but I have a feeling it's going to be too small. And I just have really broad shoulders and sometimes these don't work. So I'm probably going to restart this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but now that I know I have 3 skeins of this, I'll find something to do with it. What? I'm not sure, but I have like 3 skeins of troll. Yeah, that can all go in there. So, I actually think that's all it. So, yeah, that's all the stuff I have going on, and I'll try to do this again next month, because I seem to be able to do it once a month. That just seems to work for me. So thank you for watching. I'll actually have show notes because I typed them up beforehand. So thank you for watching. Please come back, like and subscribe, tell other people about this. And thanks for watching. And just keep making stuff. Bye.